I've worn out 5 pair of shoes making it.
Making what?
Cross-section. I've been crossing from section to section of the town, asking every household a question.
You blithering idiot. You've interviewed every silly fool in Tangletown.
I object. He interviewed me.
That's what I said.
I'm not so sure it's been a waste of time, Henry.
What do you mean?
This might turn out very much to our advantage.
How so?
We've got a 100% poll of the town, much more inclusive than any municipal election register.
Why, you're right. We can prove by this survey that the vast majority of the citizens of Tangletown are perfectly satisfied with things as they are. Gribble, you asked people all the questions on the forms, didn't you?
Yes, and didn't I get some funny answers?
No doubt. But they're all perfectly satisfied with Tangletown, aren't they?
Well, some of them are.
Huh?
I mean, quite a lot of them are, sir.
Well, summing it all up, what would you say the general opinion is, Gribble?
In these?
Yeah.
All the loafers and grafters on the council should resign.
What?
That's the wrong one, sir. What would you do to improve the conditions in Tangletown?
Well, what's the answer?
Get rid of Oxbold and the council. They're a gang of... You wouldn't be interested in that, sir.
A gang of what?
Lazy crooks. But here's a lovely one, sir. Tangletown is a beautiful town and we all love it. Nothing should be changed. We must trust in the wisdom of our councillors.
Ah, at last a man of sense.
Who answered that?
He did.
Gribble, you can go now.
Well, can I have me £27.10, please?
Oh, we'll see about that later.
But, Mr. Oxbold, you said when I'd finished the...
Later!
Well, I've worked very hard on this survey, sir.
Later!
Yes, sir, a little later. Yes, thank you, sir.
Instructions say when forms are completed, send to the Bureau of Municipal Research and Reconstruction, Whitehall, London. I'd better post them off now, hadn't I, Mr. Oxbold?
Post them to Whitehall? Why, man, there's dynamite in these forms.
What?
Political and social dynamite.
Oh, that kind.
Now, all of you, we've got to work quickly. Separate these forms into 2 piles. Those who are for us and those who are against us. I always knew there were some idiots and troublemakers in Tangletown, but I never realized there were so many of them.
If this town had a roof on it, it would be a lunatic asylum.
If we're not very careful, those lunatics will force town planning down our throats.
Why, what's wrong with town planning?
What's wrong with it?
Well, that's what I asked you. There's no harm in planning towns, is there? Seems to me it's like jigsaw and crossword puzzles, and I'm very clever at working them out.
Well, perhaps you'll be clever enough to work this out. Some crackpot sent it to me this morning.
Ooh, very pretty.
Very pretty indeed. It's what those meddlesome town planners propose to do to Tangletown. Nice little park and gardens here, Stubbins, don't you think?
Very pretty, yes.
And do you know what large building now occupies this site?
Oh, what's it, madam? Why, that's where my corset factory is.
Precisely. My bank holds a mortgage on it. So you'd like to tear down your factory and build another one just where they tell you to?
I object.
And for the first time, all of us here are objecting with you. For we all own property that these crazy fools want to condemn and pull down. If any of you disagree with me, we can discuss the matter when you next call at my bank to renew your loans.
Of course we all agree with you, Henry.
Well, I thought you would. Now, what's the best thing to do about these forms?
Well, all these people say nice things about us, Mr. Oxbold.
Well, only those forms will go to Whitehall. 100% vote in our favor.
Hardly wise, Henry. Even the Nazis allowed 2% to vote against them in their elections.
Well, we'll allow the opposition 5%, and that's being very generous. Post those off to Whitehall and burn the rest.
I object.
Oh, for heaven's sake, why?
It's against the law to burn public documents.
He's right, Henry. It is against the law. If there's any dirty work to be done, we mustn't get mixed up in it.
Well, I'll take care of that. Wrap those up in some old newspapers.
Yes, Mr. Oxbold.
Well, it doesn't look as though we had much of a chance at the municipal election next month. If that's what people think about us.
So we've no time to waste. What this council needs is a little window dressing.
Window dressing? Why, what have we got to sell?
Ourselves, and we need someone to head our list. A candidate with a name so well respected in Tangletown that everybody will vote for him and thus carry us along.
Just whom did you have in mind, Henry?
A man of title, money and position. Sir Timothy Strawbridge.
Sir Timothy Strawbridge. Is that a wise move? We've got a lot at stake in this, and our business interests might suffer if his political opinions are not the same as ours.
That's right. None of us has met the fellow. How do we know he's safe?
No, he's as safe as houses, the big houses he owns. Any man who is worth £2 million must be sound at heart. And his name means something in the town. The Strawbridge Hospital, the Strawbridge Library, the